And we're back, new SEC podcast. We're talking Mississippi State versus Southern Mississippi. Mississippi State is traveling to play Southern Miss on Saturday, August 30th, noon. The spread in this game is 12.5, and the over-under is 61.5. What do we think here at the new SEC podcast?
Crazy road game, in-state. I'm not going to call it a rivalry, but when you have in-state, you have players that have shifted back and forth between these teams. There's some guys in this game that are going to be playing former teams. It's in-state. It's a rivalry enough for me to count it. Really, Southern Miss this year, it's not Southern Miss before. This is the Marshall Southern Miss team. They took 25 transfers in from Marshall. Charles Huff, the coach, former Alabama assistant, came from Marshall, brought, almost the whole team with him, the Sun Belt winning team. That's a good Marshall team from last season that's coming into this game now at Southern Miss. They brought in a couple more pieces. I'm not going to say that Mississippi State is going to lose this game, but I will say that Southern Miss is not anything to play with, and definitely not a favorable week one matchup.
Yeah, there's not many years you're going into week one and you look at a Southern Miss team that went 1-10 or 1-11 last year and saying that they might have a chance to beat Mississippi State. We're talking about Mississippi State here. And the question it poses is Mississippi State on upset alert? You look at their playing on the road, you look at what they did last year, and you look at the team, like you mentioned, that Charles Huff brought in. This is the Southern Miss herd, right? This is a lot of players that came from Marshall. And so just look at the tail of the tape. So they bring in the quarterback, Braylon Braxton. He's, second team Sun Belt Conference quarterback. They won the Sun Belt last year, beating UL. There is a chance they could play well in this game. Vegas doesn't necessarily think so, right? 12.5 point, 13.5 point spread, but these things can happen. I'm not saying they're going to, but there's a lot of production they're bringing in. They also bring in Robert Briggs, but they have Robert Briggs playing at running back. Charles Huff brought in the Utah State running back coach to coach the running backs this year, and Robert Briggs played for Utah State for 3 seasons. It's a lot of synchronicity here for the Golden Eagles.
There's something about the buy-in that you have to have as a coach to get this many guys to follow you. That's crazy amount of passion in the sport that you've been able to rile up in a group of guys. Braylon Braxton, 5th year, 3 years at Tulsa, then went to Marshall, now at Southern Miss. I think he's going to be an impact player of this game. Obviously, you mentioned his accolades at this point. 19 pass touchdowns, 4 on the ground last year, only 2 picks. Not a mistake-prone guy. Someone who's fairly reliable, keeps his favorite receivers with him. Coming into this game, if you didn't know anything about, if you just knew that and you looked at Mississippi State from last year, you might think that Southern Miss maybe could be favored in this game. But Mississippi State, now I'll say, they look to be improved as well. I think Mississippi State is an improved team from last year that isn't getting enough credit.
100%. And I'm a firm believer in Blake Shapen. Charles Huff's defense last year was around 5th or 6th in the Sun Belt for Marshall. And a fun fact for Marshall, they didn't have any Power 4 wins. So while they won 10 games, you beat UL, you beat Old Dominion. When they played Virginia Tech, when they played other Power 4 opponents, they were losing by 10 or more points. So I think we got to keep this in perspective here a little bit and say, hey, look, they're a good Sun Belt team. He's a good Sun Belt coach. These are Sun Belt guys. They're going from one Sun Belt school to the other Sun Belt school, but it's the Sun Belt, aka the Fun Belt. It ain't the SEC.
Yeah, Braxton got kind of clamped versus Ohio State. Like it's a different level of ball, and I think who's going to show them that in this game is the Mississippi State running backs. Mississippi State running backs are going to come into this game 3-headed, monster. If not, they go deeper in the bag. Blake Shapen is going to play well in this game, I'm expecting. But you have Devon Booth, Fluff Bothwell, Johnny Daniels. You got these guys who can all run. They can all be a RB1 on a quality team. I think right now Mississippi State is kind of sneakily entering with one of the better running back rooms in the country. Now, I'm not going to say that they're better than A&M's running back room or Notre Dame, but I will say that as the season goes on, I do expect to see Mississippi State up there in the rankings for, rush yards per carry. They have some guys back there, and this will be the game to do it because you're up against a defense that I don't think will be able to keep up with that based on what you were saying.
Yeah, no, 100%. I mean, that running back core at Southern Miss is like 4 deep. They brought in a couple guys from different schools. I think they have a running back from A&M. Obviously got the running back from Utah State. Maybe not A&M, it's a different school, but and then you talked about the receivers they're bringing over, Carl Chester, Elijah Metcalf. Those are 2 of the leading receivers at Marshall that already have played with Braylon Braxton. In this portal era, it's rare to see guys stick with the same QB for multiple years.
Yeah. It's far gone in college football that's usually the case, but now you have a lot of experience. I mean, so much of the team core is together. Defensively, I'd be remiss if we didn't mention the issues that Mississippi State's coming into the season with defensively and the question marks there and the doubt, I guess. A lot of people I would say are doubting that Mississippi State's defense has improved enough to be that much better than what they were last year. I mean, 456 yards allowed per game, 34.1 points allowed per game. They kept their DC. They added a couple more pieces around the staff there to try to keep some continuity. I believe that they've improved. Have they improved enough? This will be a great test because you have a dual threat quarterback. You have a decent receiver core. You have an away game where they will test you. Personally, this will be a huge factor in how we look at Mississippi State going forward as to whether or not they allow Southern Miss to put up 3 or more touchdowns in this game.
Yeah. And fun fact, Southern Miss has lost 10 straight games by double digits. So I feel like it's just the theater keeps rising when it comes to this game.
Yeah, it's a huge game for both teams. It's Southern Miss now coming off of awful year, complete revamp. It's Mississippi State coming off of awful year, not really a revamp, more let's take what we've got and build on it and try to build some confidence. Let's not do a gut yet, which I think is great. I like that approach. What does Mississippi State need to do in this game? They need to not play around. You can't be playing around in a game like this. You can't find yourself down a score. You can't find yourself tied at halftime, a team going into their home locker room. You're going into the away locker room. Like, what are we doing, about to lose?
Yeah.
To Southern Miss in a season opener, heads hung because of what you are coming off of last year, hoping that your season was going to be good. Can't play around. Don't play around in a game like this.
Come out strong, like you mentioned, and make it clear that this is your state at a minimum between Southern Miss and you, right? So the final question is Southern, or is Mississippi State on upset alert? I'm going to say no. What do you think?
I'm going to say, yeah, I think they are on upset alert. Do I think that they'll win this game? Yeah, my money is would be on Mississippi State to win this game. Could a Toledo 2 happen? It could. I mean, it realistically could. Things could go wrong for a team like Mississippi State right now. I don't think it's going to happen. I think that they run often. They had the 3rd worst time of possession in college football last season. I think they flip it this year. Try to maintain possession of the ball. Use your running backs. You got Blake Shapen back. That injury last year, had that not happened, this team would have been better. So you come into a fresh start. I like Mississippi State in this game. I think that they win by 10. I don't think that they cover. Could they? Absolutely. Could they lose this game? Absolutely. It's up in the air, but I ultimately have them winning.
I'm with you. I got them winning. I think Isaac Smith has taken out heads. I think that, they're going to win this game 34-17. And so that's my final prediction. But we want to know what y'all think. Bulldogs fans, Golden Eagles fans, if you're watching this, this is the new SEC podcast, and tune in next time.